Okay. Enough of that. Thank you so much for joining AppSumo Black Friday live event with myself and my co-host SA Grant, who's going to be joining us today and maybe jumping on a couple of other days as well. We've got 4 live demos today with 4 amazing founders, 2 of which are currently on AppSumo, and the other 2 have either just left or have been on AppSumo for 2023. So I'm really excited to introduce this new guest because I've not used the platform before, and I'm excited to dive into it and meet the founder and learn a little bit about his origin story. Thanks for joining me again, SA. Do you have any words before we bring on this guest?
No, I'm actually looking forward to this platform and seeing behind the scenes and breaking it down, because I think it's one of those platforms that, if you haven't heard about it after today, you should know about it.
Yeah, of course. So let's introduce Richard Fowler from Vbout. Hello.
How's it going? Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for accepting because we were told about the AppSumo deals and we didn't have that much time to prepare for this event. So I'm so happy to have you here to demo Vbout, and yeah, I'm really excited. So for those and for me and for everybody else who's listening, tell me a little bit more about why you came up with this tool and what Vbout is.
Sure. So Vbout is as simple as you can think of it as the Swiss Army knife for your marketing tools. You have all these different things that you need to do as a marketer, from lead generation. So you build landing pages and custom forms, pop-ups on your site, so you capture the leads. So there's a set of tools there that you need to build, and usually you have 2 or 3 different things that you've implemented. Now, once you capture that lead through the form, you need to push them to the funnel and nurture them, right? You need to educate them about what you're doing. You need to do follow-ups to constantly educate. And there are sets of tools that you use there. And finally, once you get them to pay and become a customer, you need to retain them long-term, right? So that's also a set of tools on its own. So what Vbout does is we have about 14 different tools on the platform working together or independently to help you communicate better with your clients, increase your lead gen, increase your retention, and ultimately increase your sales. So that's pretty much what Vbout does at the end of the day.
How did you initially come up with it? Is this your first product, or have you built and sold or built companies before?
I've been doing the doing my own thing since I was probably 18. I came to the States. I opened a restaurant of all places because I was working somewhere, and then the owner liked me. I worked really hard, and then he's like, "All right, join the team." While I was working, studying computer science, and that was MySpace time. So I started my own technology companies as I was running the restaurant. I built a website like Etsy, which I spent all my savings on and failed. Then I built a website called Solve My Homework to assist students with their homework. That didn't quite take off. Unit economics were very crappy. And then I started a digital agency. And that's kind of, I would say, the seed of Vbout. Is as a digital agency, we had to use all these different tools and platforms. And it was either too scattered and we created the Frankenstack of the world, or it was too expensive. So we had to shell out, thousands of dollars on HubSpot and Marketo and Acton and these expensive products. So we're like, all right, let's be in between the scattered products and the expensive ones. So we provide the depth of tools, as well as, if you want, at a very affordable price point. So that's kind of what started our journey, and from the agency to the software world.
It's funny you say restaurant. I'm from the restaurant business. I used to be a chef, and then
Nice.
yeah,
Everybody should work in the restaurant industry at some point in
everybody
their
should,
life.
yeah,
Yeah,
just to feel that intensity and that pressure.
yeah, it makes you humble, deal with
Yeah.
people, understand customer support. I think it has all the elements of what a business overall should look like. So yeah, everybody should work at some period in their life in a
So
restaurant
shout
industry.
out to all the chefs, all the restaurateurs. You're doing awesome. Keep it up.
Don't forget the foodies. The foodies are what
The
support
foodies.
the chefs all day, every day, right? So
Yeah. Oh yeah, the foodies.
yeah.
I'm no longer a chef, but I am a foodie. Oh, love it. Well, let's get straight into the demo, and then when we have questions as we go through the demo, we'll ask them. Yeah, if anybody else has a question who's watching, please leave them in the comment section, and we get to them as well.
Awesome. So should I go ahead and share my screen?
Yes, please.
Sweet.
It
And
sounds-
thanks everybody for joining.
Oh.
How many people we got so far on the?
We have
live stream?
got one person at the moment.
You know, that's all it takes. You help one person that you made an impact. But I'm pretty
Exactly.
sure this will be syndicated, right?
Yeah, this is going to be repurposed a lot. And we're launching a podcast right now during Black Friday. So this episode will probably go live tomorrow or the next day.
Nice. All right. Well, whoever's joining us, thank you for spending the time. I know your attention matters and your time is very valuable. So overall, VBOT, again, is a toolkit. We have different tools working simultaneously together or individually. So some people that purchase the product might only use it for email marketing, which is the most popular product you have. Some might use email, automation, and social, and some might use the full stack. So I'm going to run you quickly through the different steps that a newbie would come in. You can be a newbie for marketing. You can be a seasoned marketer. It always starts with what we call the data architecture, or you can call them the list of clients that you have. Okay. So in VBOT, we built all the tools you need to manage your leads and contacts. So what that means, you can create your custom lists. You can have clients list. You can have leads list. You can have people from an events list, friends, family, however you want to separate them. But you can think of a list as your bucket of people. And then we give you the ability to create forms and embed them on the website. So our form builder is very, very powerful. And I'm not only saying this because I'm biased, but we built the forms so they are, one, you can create multi-step forms. So if I have step 1, step 2, step 3, you can create those smart forms. You can add conditional fields. So based on the answers of a specific question, you can display additional fields. So there's a lot there as well. We have rules and conditions. If you'd like to also create a payment form to, let's say you're selling now for the holidays, gift cards, maybe you're selling memberships to your newsletter. We have a full-on payment form that lets you create products with recurrent payment settings and much more directly into the form. Okay. So that's technically what we call lists and forms. We capture the leads in the system, and the platform tracks so much that you can see the entire journey of a lead coming in from all different places, right? So we can track where they came in from, which website, how many emails they received, what are their SMS activity, because you can send out SMS through the system. So this is almost like a 365 view of your clients all across the board, okay? Every day. So far, so good?
Yep, so far so good.
I mean, I do have one question so far with the SMS. Is that built in, or is it like leveraging some API integration?
It uses Twilio as a third party, and I'll show you in a second.
Okay.
Not only do we integrate deep with Twilio, you can also do two-way SMS, so you can receive SMS and respond, and you can also detect intent inside the SMS. So let's say you send somebody a question and said, "Hey, would you like to schedule a demo with us?" If their response was something very generic, like perhaps I would like to, we have ChatGPT integrated in OpenAI's endpoints to understand that syntax. And you can also do outbound calling. So once you connect your phone numbers, you can do a call directly from here. Okay. So some people use this as an outbound dialer, manual outbound dialer to be precise. All right.
Yep.
So there are lots here to be discussed. I won't dive into it, but if you're into lead scoring, which means that this lead has 0 score, that means they just engage with us. You can set up your all lead scoring points and rules. You can set up goals, create audiences, and you can even connect with third-party platform like HubSpot, Zoho, and Sitely, and even create your own FTP. So we're really good on the integration side of things because we understand if you have Zapier or Pabbly or some third-party connectors, you want to drive lead into VBOT and you want to send lead out of VBOT. That's what we call the lead flow, and it's super, super important to have properly set up. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So again, lots more here that you can do on the lead side of things. But from a company's perspective, from a marketer, if you've gotten your lead set up on your forms and your list properly, then that's going to be the foundation of what's going to happen next. So assuming I've already loaded all my contacts, now I want to send out an email campaign. We have a very powerful email campaign tool that lets you first choose your settings. You can do A/B testing. You can do chunk sending. This is a tool we created to help you send small chunks. So if your target list is 100,000, instead of sending 100,000 as fast as possible, you can send 1,000 an hour for a few days. That's what we call email warm-up. That helps you warm up your list. It helps you kind of build reputation over time, so you're not just blasting and hoping things will get better. It's the age of engagement, and chunk sending is a very good tool. We also have predictive sending. This is a proprietary internal predictive model we built that we can analyze hundreds of thousands of winning campaigns based on industry, and we can predict the best time to send out emails based on your own data. So that takes a little bit of learning. So once you send about 10 campaigns, the system already kind of got that much information. And then we'll know for every lead in your database, what is the best time to deliver that email. Okay.
Yeah. So you recommend, a campaign, for those who don't know what a campaign is, what is a campaign for you?
It's a newsletter. You're sending out happy holidays, your an announcement, a new product release, simply weekly updates of your product. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just a broadcast, email broadcast newsletter. Okay. So if you can think of this as MailChimp, what MailChimp provides in terms of sending out email, constant contact, that's what that particular tool is right there. All right. Now you can obviously choose your target list, and we created so many design options, whether you want to go with the full-on blast and design, or if you want to create a simple editor. That means you can make it look like it's going out from your inbox. We provide the capabilities for you to do that. And our editors have preloaded templates, preloaded blocks, we call them. So you can design the email and make it look fully branded as you would like it. Okay. Please bear with me as I'm sharing my screen. Things slow down here. Any questions so far? Am I doing good on time?
You're doing perfect and just at the right pace for me.
Sweet. All right, so you can see this is a traditional drag and drop builder. You can just choose the structure you want. Let's say I want 2 boxes and then 1 box below it, or let's do the one above. And perhaps I want sections that VBOD provides for me. So let's say I want to drop this one in here. So you can make it and adapt it to your own needs. But we have an AI content as well. So you connect your OpenAI and you can say, I want to create a welcome email series. And this will give you some ideas using OpenAI. You can do inbox testing by using the inbox preview to see how this looks like on different devices. And you can just do spam test to check for any spam keywords. So if you're an email marketer, you know how valuable it is to have those tools when you're sending out emails. And this is what sets VBOD apart from some of the beginner tools, is we have so many advanced features like this. So you can test the campaign properly, check the formats, create content using AI, and at the end of the day, track pretty much everything. Who is opening what, at what time, where they're coming from, bounce rates, complaint rates, and we handle all the hygiene of your list. So you don't have to worry about who unsubscribed and who bounced and who complains. The system will take care of that for you. All right?
Yep.
Cool. Lots more that you can do here. You can create your email templates repository and just kind of share them with the teams. But overall, I think we have everything you need to launch a successful email campaign. Moving on to the next tool. Any questions before I do that?
About opt-in. So with the opt-in process, is it a single opt-in or a double opt-in coming from a lead magnet?
Oh, you choose. If you want a double opt-in, a single opt-in, we work with thousands of agencies, and we kind of taken all that feedback. So you can bake this into the system. If you want a double opt-in, you can activate that option. If you want to be a single opt-in, you can just add them to the system as confirmed. So we're not really, what we do is we trust our clients as much as possible to the moment they start sending. So the first few email campaigns, we kind of look at the campaign quality. If you're a new customer, you'll notice we have something called moderation phase. Every campaign and every email and every landing page that get launched, we make sure that one, you're not a spammer. Two, you're not a scammer, right? Two different things. You're not trying to use phishing kind of assets on the system by building Bank of America, reset your password, or PayPal, forget your password kind of thing. We test everybody before. We review every email campaign that goes out. So we trust you on the onboarding side of things, that you're doing the right thing as a marketer. We build that relationship with you. I guess the point, what I'm trying to get to here is we don't force double opt-ins.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does that still work? Let's say if we're using like Papply or Zapier and we're pulling in our database from a third-party vendor, like what are we looking at as far as that coming in? Because some other platforms, essentially, they will allow you to pull in large database, but then once you start sending it out, they're going to want you to double opt in to make sure that you're not spamming.
We don't force double opt-ins.
Okay.
Again, we trust you. And honestly, I was talking to my team about this, because a lot of people say, we want to send some cold emails, we have a small list. I mean, there's always a fine line, right? First, you got to understand the jurisdictions in your country. If your country allow you to send out cold emails or not, because you can get in deep trouble. Second, when you send out a cold email, you can get flagged immediately, because Gmail and friends, they know, right? People are spamming you. People are complaining. You're sending a lot of emails to emails that bounced or don't exist or inactive. So we pick up on this data pretty quickly. And if you caused harm, you can get disabled, right? Or your sending will pause. So we won't allow you to send until you justify why your list was bad. So we put the weight on you and the responsibility on the marketer to actually vet the list properly, use the proper technique to do cold outreach if needed, which I don't encourage it, but that's on you. Because at the end of the day, the systems know. You cannot just get around it by sending out tons of spam. We detect it. Okay.
Do you have, so when let's just say we're writing an email, are you able to score that email on the quality of it is it going to get a good click rate, or is it going to convert, or like a predicted open rate?
So we don't really have a predictive open rate, but we have an integration with a third party here that you can say, I would like to do batch email validation before I send out the emails. It's almost like a zero bounce, never bounce third party tool, but we baked it into the system. And you can just run your entire list through this database. And by the way, as a disclaimer, this is a paid plugin because it's an integration with a partner. But you can run the quality of your list before sending out. But we don't have anything to predict.
No, that's great. For me, there's two types of people, two types of hosts on this call. One who's 2 years young, and one who's got all the systems, got all the automations. I'm the first one. SA Grant is the more advanced person. So you're getting two different types of questions. One from a beginner email marketer, someone who's got all the systems. So forgive me for asking the silly questions.
No, not at all. These are good questions. Look, most people, I realized that they need all the assistance they could, and all the learning when sending out emails, because it's not the same it used to be. So we want to provide that education, and everybody who is in our community will tell you that we have an academy program, we have training, we have ongoing videos, we have monthly events that we are constantly kind of pushing out to educate our user base on how to properly and effectively use email. Because through that education, we can minimize spam, we can get better sending quality, etc. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. All right. The one I'm excited about is actually our automation. This is where most of our engineering the last 10 years, because VBot is a 10-year-old product at this point. We built the automation to be as simple as sending out a very short drip campaign. Let's say somebody fills out a form. I send them an email after. So we have the triggers and the actions. I can continue sending an email over the course of an entire month, a year, a quarter. And I can even introduce SMS on top of it. So I can say send an email and SMS and continue sending out additional emails and additional SMS. Okay. That's what people usually think about as a simple drip, but you can see it's omni-channel. That means we can do it over email, SMS, and in VBout, if you're familiar with web push technology, it's included with any of your plans. So you can activate your browser push and you can send out browser notifications to your customers. So 3 different channels of communications. Okay.
On the roadmap, are you thinking about including like chat as far as like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth?
So to automate chat, yes. Now, which channel exactly, we'll come to that.
Okay.
Because we already integrate, and I'll show you guys when I get to the social suite. Automation with social, especially when you're going through their APIs, and I literally just had to go through this, an hour confirmation with Facebook to make sure we're not automating what needs to be a human-like behavior. Okay. So we need to be very careful to navigate a way around automating everything for social, particularly. But we are building a very smart chat component that's going to allow you to upload your own docs, your own knowledge base, your own RSS feed, and it creates a smart chatbot to communicate with that feed. So that's step 1. And we already have it here. So if you click our help, something I'm really proud of what my team has built, we have an AI-powered chat support. You can either chat with our knowledge base, or you can create a command that says, create an email campaign about the power of Black Friday podcasts and make it 100, or let's say 200 word paragraph. So now you're communicating with OpenAI. There are some more parameters. I mean, I can just type in the help to see how many endpoints are available, right? So you can execute things on VBout by just running your command prompt marketing right from here. This is something unique to us as well, and it's included in your plan as long as you connect your own ChatGPT or OpenAI key. Okay. You can add contacts. You can remove contacts. You can get contact activity. You can get email templates. I mean, this is awesome. This is really good stuff. Okay. And our plan is to allow you to do the same thing with your own product. So if you have a product with an API endpoint, we were testing internally, you can feed those endpoints to the system to ultimately create what we call interactive chatbot that communicates with your own API endpoints. All right. All right. I know there's a lot here to cover, guys. So I hope. But again, I want you to just pick on the tools that you need for your own business. It does not need to be everything that we're covering, because there are like about 14 plus tools in here. Right.
Yep. And the lifetime you get on AppSumo includes all of these tools.
I want to say 95, because the 5% are usually third-party partners that we have to pay for every time we make a call, right?
Yeah.
We cannot sell you a lifetime deal while incurring those partnership calls. So I think it's just unique economics.
Yeah.
But 95% of the suite is right there included. Otherwise, it will cost you tens of thousands of dollars over the course of years.
Yeah, that makes sense. Can we go over a couple more of your favorite products inside of VBout, and then share the deal on AppSumo and share exactly what the deal features are? That would be helpful.
Absolutely. Let me run through the rest of the features. One is the social media suite, which is quite robust, because we allow you to compose short videos for Instagram, TikTok, Shorts. So we have the short video aspect of things. And we also have the composed regular posts. So you can have X, you can have Pinterest, you can have long YouTube videos, AI content included, design on Canva, and you can create your media. So the scheduler is extremely powerful. And you can even create a social media team collaboration where you can assign things to different team members so they could work on approving or disapproving posts. So this is on its own a whole product that you're getting included in the deal. Okay.
Is there a limitation to the profiles? I mean, is it like 20, 30, 40, 50? How many profiles can we put in here?
I think it's probably like 100,000.
Okay.
Unlimited.
Hey, that's better than having a number.
Nobody has unlimited. Most companies, and we have some that have hundreds, but most will end up about 20, 30 accounts, which is fine. All right. And the streams is pretty powerful too. So if you want to see what's the engagement like, what people are saying, you can respond back directly to the DM from here. You can see there's a full-on communication back and forth that goes directly to the channel you're communicating from. Okay. So this is what, coming back to your conversation, we can literally automate this stuff, but we have to be very careful about how we build our AI automation for social in the future. All right.
Yeah.
A lot more you can do here on the social analytics. You can create your own content and syndicate it to your sub accounts. But overall, I can guarantee you can probably ditch your existing social media suite through this. All right.
Does it leverage RSS feeds as well?
We don't have an RSS feed embedded here yet.
Okay.
We've been thinking about building something to bring your own RSS feed into the content bank, but it's not on the roadmap, to be clear.
Okay.
Cool. Because it's all about quality with social media. So I think that's what it comes down to. Now we have a landing page builder, and we're rolling out our new landing page product soon. I heavily use this to build pages so we can generate leads, write promotions, event signups. I mean, you can see we extensively use this product. It's a simple drag and drop interface, and we have a new version of it launching in first quarter of next year.
Oh, that's great. We'll get this live demo released in time for that to help you as well.
Yeah, I can't show you the actual builder yet because it's under my dev team's local environment. But overall, I mean, everything you need to build and the great looking landing page is right here at your fingertip. Okay. I can drag this, and obviously it integrates with our forms. It integrates with all our components. You can create merge tags here so you can personalize them. There's so much you can do on our pages. Okay.
Yep, that's getting rid of ClickFunnels.
ClickFunnels have some, funnel process feature, but it's great for some people. It's great. But as a landing page builder, you can literally do that in here in the system. Okay. You can create pop-ups as well as another tool if you need it. So you can schedule those lead capture right here in the system. You can program their behavior. You can choose if it's a form or if it's just a message. And then finally, you can design those to have the look and feel of your brand. And every marketer knows that you can convert anywhere from 3 to 5% of your anonymous visitors with smart lead capture, right? So there's an option there for you. All right.
Awesome.
All right, I'm almost done with the features. If I want to share the agency features, because this is really important. But here you have full pipeline management that also is baked into the system. If you want to use it as a soft CRM, if you want to use it as task management, you can automate task creation and much more through this. I've seen people do crazy stuff like ditch their CRM to come here. But it's a soft CRM, to be very clear. That means we don't have pipeline reporting and complex sales stuff. Very powerful as well. Now, what brings this all home is the reporting dashboard. And you can have multiple reports built. You can schedule those reports to go out to your stakeholders. And you can pretty much report on, I would say, about 40 different channels, from your sales on your WooCommerce or Shopify, because we integrate there as well, to your social media, to your website or landing pages. So these reports can tell the story of how you're doing with your marketing overall. Okay.
Yeah, that's super helpful.
Super helpful. And so could we integrate that into like the email side to deliver monthly reports to clients as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You can have a dashboard created for each client, and you can schedule those reports. Now, of course, you need to create the widget that has the email, but you absolutely can. Okay.
Perfect.
We have a calendar component. I think we included like an introductory plan or one calendar or two, I forgot, with your plan. So instead of using Calendly or some other third party, you can create the calendar to look and feel like your own. So people can book you directly from your calendar of choice. Sorry, let me see if I have another one here. Yeah, so you're familiar with this, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Again, being baked into one platform is what gives it this power, and you can stack the features that you need as you go.
Yep. So with that, I mean, I think it's definitely a strong platform. It has all the bells and whistles to get from point A to point B. When you get to the conversion point, does it have full integration with like PayPal or Stripe to help someone make a purchase right then and there, or does that need to go through
Yeah,
API?
yeah, absolutely. So I showed you the form. Right now, there's only Stripe, but you can create a form with products, and you can sell directly in VBOut, creating a form with a couple of products, and just simply people will pay you and will be added to the system, and you can create like post-purchase follow-ups. You can create, order confirmation. You can do reports on the dashboard with all your purchases. So this can be a standalone mini kind of e-commerce experience,
Yep.
or it can complement what you already use on the other side of things. Make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Sure.
Oof. Can we now share the AppSumo deal so that we can see what the deal features are and what they get with the lifetime deal?
Yes, sure. And I think the agency features is what really people are bragging about on the AppSumo deal, because you can white label it, you can manage your sub accounts on here, and you can resell the platform. So an agency on average, through the AppSumo deal, they generate 10 to 20 times their investment by selling those instances at $25 to $100 per monthly membership. So we have full agency capabilities, and I have a lot of resources on that. But in terms of the deal, honestly, it's let me see if I can pull it
It's
up
a
real quick.
no-brainer.
And this is the last time we probably going to do the deal. We were I would say the highest grossing deals on AppSumo over time, because of the value that you get through this. I mean, this is literally replacing thousands of dollars per month using HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, and a few other tools. So if you're a marketer, you will understand the value of this product. Furthermore, because we've been on the market for quite some time, and many ever ask us why you're coming to AppSumo, because what the money we make from here is, one, is the money we spend back into the product. Two, it's visibility that we have to pay thousands of dollars a month to do marketing. We spend it on you. So the license that you're getting is not a license that we make money off necessarily, but it's the marketing dollars that I was going to pay Facebook and Google to go and get me visibility and get the brand awareness. So we help you through the product at a very affordable price point, which I think, let me just try to find it. I'm sorry. And at the same time, if you like the product, you talk about it, you refer us, you sell, you make money, and everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
All right, so let's see what we got here. I think the introductory price is $79, and I'm sorry, my screen is too. There we go. $79 for tier 1, sending 10K emails. This is $100 per month otherwise. License tier 2 is $20,000 for $149 one time. And you can go all the way up to tier 5, which is probably what you would pay $1,000 a month for otherwise. And you can literally resell to 20 clients under you. So you take 100,000 emails and distribute it to, let's say, 5,000 each, and resell the platform. $599. I mean, it's so good. I'm thinking I should buy one for myself.
Wow, 100,000 emails a month is plenty, and then to look after 20 clients, that's all you need, and that's a lifetime deal, everybody. So
Yeah.
So
let's just play devil's advocate with that, right? So let's just say, for example, somebody maxes out at the 20 and they max out the 100 and they're still growing and scaling. What's next on the agenda for them? Are they going to have to convert that lifetime deal, or do you have add-ons that they can purchase?
They got add-ons. We have an add-on deal for, I think, 25,000 emails for $50 a month. And usually they reach out to us and they say, we need 100,000. Can you please work out a deal? We'll work out a deal. But it's going to have to be obviously a recurrent membership. If you're at the point where you're managing 20 clients, that means you're making money, and good for you. But at the end of the day, as a platform, we have a very high cost that we would like to kind of sustain long term, right? So
Mhm.
we appreciate this kind of symbiotic relationship where, okay, you've outgrown your 100,000. That means you're definitely making money. That means most definitely you can afford to pay, $100 a month, $50 a month to continue growing on the system. Make sense?
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Richard, and going through the demo. I didn't realize VBAT was as comprehensive
Yeah.
as it is. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful platform. I got one question for you though. As far as the branding, I mean, what is the meaning behind the name of VBOUT?
Honestly, it's just a rebranded name from 2013. I was playing with a different kind of product called Virtual Business Card. So it had like some, and then I'm like, you know what? That's not I want to continue doing marketing and marketing tech. And I just kept the name and I continued from there.
Very cool.
Awesome. Well, I will introduce you to our next guest, Karim from Chopcast, so that you can say hello.
Hey, Karim.
Can you hear us?
It's probably delayed.
Delayed. Richard, thank you so much for your time today and for sharing feedback. It's been amazing to see it behind the scenes.
Definitely.
And I'll send you an episode. I'll send you the podcast episode after this as soon as it's live.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Would love to see more on our community. And I mean, again, this is not an overnight product. We've been 10 years in the making. This is our third rodeo on AppSumo, probably our final. So grab your deal today, because honestly, this is a deal you should not miss. I guarantee you. Thanks again, Chris. And
See you.
I'm sorry, SA Grant.
Yes.
Karim, good luck.
Thank you, Richard.
Awesome. That's great. So thank you for joining the live stream. This is the second demo of 4 demos today. I'm going to be going over Chopcast. I have, so yesterday I said to SA that I was going to spend the entire morning working with Chopcast to repurpose my content. And I have been. I'm a beginner to it. And I've been going through the course that you sent me, the repurpose course, just to get more of an understanding about content repurposing. So thanks for sharing that with me. And I'm looking forward to hearing how you built Chopcast first, of why you built it. So maybe let's start there.
Yeah, for sure. Hello, Chris. SA. Great to be here with you guys. Sorry, I was a couple of minutes late. The story of Chopcast is, to put it in a nutshell, we were doing this stuff manually for years. Me and my brother, my co-founder, he left Google, I left HubSpot. We're like, let's do an agency. 2 weeks in, we're like, yeah, let's not do an agency, because there are so many agencies out there that are doing such a great job. It will be very difficult to just compete with nothing different, with nothing new. We got sad. We were down. We went on YouTube. We started watching Gary V motivational videos to pick the mood back up, because we both, he was about to quit his job. I had already physically quit job at HubSpot. And we noticed that, well, Gary V we were familiar with the Gary V content model from before. He has an awesome team that takes his keynotes and it into clips. We knew all that, and we realized, well, what if someone doesn't have a team? What do they do then? And we thought, holy shit, what if we do that? What if we do like a Gary V as a service type thing? And that was 2 years of our life. We learned a lot. We basically did that manually, where companies would send us their webinars, their video podcasts, their keynotes, and we would up. After doing it for 2 years with our team, we noticed that there was kind of like this 80-20 moment going on, where 80% of the projects pretty much were similar, and we thought, similar, streamlined, automation, a product. Just one problem: we don't know how to code. And so it actually took us 3 times to build Chopcast. So the version that's live right now is us trying to build Chopcast from the ground up for the 3rd time. The first version looked like an Excel sheet. I don't think I'd be interested in showing that. But yeah, basically we realized that a lot of the things that we do as a service could be automated, and that's where Chopcast came. initially we were like, you know what, we'll scrap the service and work purely on the product. But as we learned more about the market, we realized that there is a time and place for both. And so as a business, we kind of have the product, which is like free to use, it's watermarked, but then once you upgrade, you have the paid product. And then a subset of those people will say, you know what, I'm going to use the product, but I could really use some help as well because I'm a team of one. I would love if I can work with some humans as well who can help me create content on a whole nother level, or maybe help me schedule it or give me feedback and so on. So yeah, the story of Chopcast in a nutshell, basically.
Awesome. Yeah, it did really well. I know this is your second time on AppSumo, is it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I can remember that some of the community saying that, oh, we wish Chopcast was still on AppSumo, and we just missed it. So I'm so glad to see that you are back on AppSumo and giving it a go for the second time. How's it going for you this time?
Yeah, it's still early days, but so far so good. And yeah, just on that, like we're not like VC backed or anything like that. We are predominantly bootstrapped, and pretty much like one of our biggest sources of like roadmap kind of like feedback and product feedback in general came from the AppSumo community. So we're super grateful for it, and that's why we came back. It's because we don't really have like investors like that, but we do have like the community, and they are really co-investing with us and co-building the product with us. So we're super grateful for that.
Yeah, we're both Sumalings, me and SA, and we always give feedback, trying to help as much as possible. Some platforms are ahead of the game, and the feedback that I suggest has already been created with it. It's like, so the community at AppSumo is so supportive of startups. So I'm glad that you're getting a lot of value from AppSumo. SA, I know you have used Chopcast before.
Extensively, yep.
Yeah, please share a little bit about your experience before we go into a live demo.
I mean, I love the advanced settings. I mean, I think obviously the basic settings of being able to copy a YouTube video, put it in there, and just let it kind of run the AI autopilot and create you 10 clips is great. But I think the advanced settings allows you to kind of orchestrate on the actual time frame of the video, the format of the video, and even finding key parts of the video versus just letting AI do it 100% by itself.
Yeah, cool. Kareem, are you ready to do a live demo?
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty funny because like every couple of hours when I refresh, there's always something new that I don't recognize because we're releasing stuff like pretty quickly. So yeah, I'm gonna share with you the latest version that I personally have access to. I think our engineers are always like 2 steps ahead, so they really have the latest version. Right. I usually get it like 2-3 days later.
Awesome. Oh, that's great.
Cool. So let me share my screen then. All right. So hopefully you can see this.
Yes, we can. There we go.
Awesome. So I'm logged in right now. The way Chopcast works is, SA, to your point, you can pretty much just upload a video from YouTube or from your computer. What's pretty cool is you can actually talk to Chopcast. You can say, find me the parts where, this one bicycle story was mentioned. So you can kind of like have this like chat experience with Chopcast. For instance, and then you could say, this is for YouTube Shorts. Let's make sure it's 60 seconds max. I can add in additional topics over here. This pretty much just primes Chopcast. Chopcast is kind of like your assistant, but it primes it to be like, hey, when you are creating clips, make sure that this takes precedent over, let's say, other general topics in the video. And then you just give it a couple of minutes. And once the video is done, you will see a couple of clips here, and we're actually going to rank them for you based on virality or engagement score. Now, this is obviously not a guarantee, but it just tells you that from an algorithm perspective, we believe these are the clips that are going to be the most engaging. From there, you can basically go ahead and let's take a look at one of the clips here, for example. Yeah, so you can basically go ahead and do a couple of things. First of all, you can actually remove parts from the video. So this is a feature that was actually inspired by Descript. You could literally like remove certain sections of the video by text, and that will, if you can see the red part here, it's actually going to remove that from the physical video itself, which is pretty handy. Another thing that you can do is you can actually enhance audio. So the way I'm saying and like have awkward silences and stuff like that, you could totally remove that just with one click. The other thing that you can do is, we have a lot of like Alex Hormozi fans that are in the AppSumo community. We now have that font available, and we're soon going to be able to have every word that's being said highlighted. So there's a couple of things that you could do here in terms of like the customization. We're always going to be adding more things here. Once you're happy with the actual clip, you can go ahead and resize it to any specific aspect ratio. You could also do things like center the speaker, and pretty much anyone who knows how to use Canva should be able to use Chopcast fairly easily. And then at the very end, you can simply just export your clips, or you can actually, trim them, resize the clips to like make them like longer or shorter. You can search for keywords, but that's really all there is to it. The whole idea of Chopcast is not to have like a gazillion features and make it look like an Excel sheet, kind of like our first product, but rather make it such that you don't actually need a video PhD to like get your clips out. And importantly, you don't need an entire team to be able to get your clips out or to pay someone per hour. You could finally do all these things for yourself, whether you're a creator, a consultant, a coach, or whether you are an agency, a growing agency, and serving such people. Hopefully you'll find some value in what we're working on here.
Yeah. What I did notice as well, and I love the new version of it, this is going to be helping me even more, is on that video editor, how do you move the video up and down on the... So when I had it as a 1:1, I wanted to just move the video slightly up. Is there a way to do that, or is it fixed in place?
So you can move the video left to right. Oh, sorry, I think there was a small delay. I heard what you said now. So right now you could basically you can just click and drag the video frame left to right. It is limited to left to right at the moment, but in the near future, one of the things that we are planning to do is basically have like a split screen view powered by face detection. So rather than you having as a user to determine, right, let me move this video a little bit up or a little bit down, you will not have to do any of that, because we're going to use face detection technology to basically center. Let's say you guys are doing a podcast and the screen's going back and forth. It's going to automatically have the face of the main speaker at any given time, front and center, basically.
Yeah, that's smart. There's a couple of people that are doing that. I don't know, the Opus Pro clip, you don't have that much control over the editing side of it, but they are doing that speaker. I think it's important to do that. Yeah, so I'm glad that it is simple. I was able to open the account, put a couple of videos for you. I'll actually show you. I've got on Instagram right now, so I will share it with you instead of talking about it. See how much engagement it's getting. And see what you think. Here we go. There we go. It's this one. It's with the Castmagic we had on yesterday. So that is just a simplified, the square version. But we've got one like from Phil, who is a good friend of ours. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun to get through. I know I'll be doing a lot more exporting because I've got lots more content to put up. Is there a way, and I don't know if this is something in the future, is where we could export to or publish to Facebook, LinkedIn directly from the platform, or do we have to export it to our desktop and then upload it somewhere?
Yeah, so right now we are literally days away from launching our Zapier integration, We were back and forth with them for a while. We're finally at the finish line, like 6 inches from the finish line. Once that is live, not only will you be able to do that, what you just talked about, but you'll be able to. So you're talking about a repurposing workflow from the end, right? So like clips already, how do we publish it? But imagine if like you're using something like Restream, which we're using right now, or any of the streaming tools, you could have it. You can have that as a step 0 or a step 1, where it's like, hey, anytime a new recording gets done from here, throw that into Chopcast, and then Chopcast will throw it into Facebook once the clip's already. The way we're gonna govern or give users control over like not any clips go on social right away is we're gonna have a simple feature that will allow users to basically approve that a clip is, you know what I mean, like ready for publishing. So that's how we're approaching it right now. We felt like Zapier and just like having an integration mindset to begin with is just a quicker way to get a bunch of these use cases done. We're gonna obviously keep a close eye on like how the community is responding, because if they want us to build like native integrations directly to, you know, IG, Facebook, YouTube, and so on, we will happily do so. But we felt like starting with the Zapier integration will help enable that in a shorter amount of time.
Yeah, that's exciting.
So I got a question for you. I mean, obviously with the YouTube link, I think it's a phenomenal feature. Have you guys, or is it on the roadmap to do playlists as an integration versus just single videos?
Yeah, so when you say playlists, you mean uploading entire playlists at once?
Yeah, I'm saying, so let's say if I go to YouTube and let's say all my videos are in a Radiant playlist, for example, a podcast is a podcast playlist on YouTube, can I link that actual playlist to Chopcast and have Chopcast pull down all the videos and create sub videos of all those clips?
Yeah, I've never heard that one before. That is a great idea. What can you give me an example of like how you would see it, working?
Yeah, so let's say, for example, 5 videos are in a playlist. To your point, it could be about Gary V. And if all the videos that we're pulling in will kind of capture instead of the video link, we're capturing the playlist link. And we'll put the playlist in there. And then the system would then pull down all 5 videos. And much like what Chopcast does now, you have that one video, but instead of one video, it's going to say, hey, these are all the videos that we're going to process. And then you'll batch process those videos and then put all those videos essentially in a folder, and each video will be highlighted, and inside of each video there'll be a subfolder that has all the clips for each one of them. I mean, you're kind of doing it right now, but you're doing it one at a time.
Yeah, I got you. That's I mean, I understood it the first time. I was just trying to understand like what's kind of like a day in the life of how you envision using that feature. Yeah, as mentioned, I've never heard of that use case before, but I love it because I think it can just help folks just build a lot more efficiency into their workflow. I'll have to talk to my co-founder about this one. You can only imagine like how many like feature requests we're getting, and we're always trying to figure out like how do we prioritize, because we're a tiny team. We're always trying to prioritize like the things that will bring the most value to most people. Having said that, a lot of the users, like just like from user activity, when they upload videos, it's typically part of like an ongoing series. It's not like a random podcast episode and then a random webinar. It's usually like a series of episodes from the one show, or a series of videos from the one webinar collection, and so on. So I think this feature makes sense to me for sure.
Yeah, I'm asking because I'm selfish in that way, because I mean, I have like almost 700 videos on YouTube and we have like maybe 200 playlists. So it's kind of like, well, it'd be great to suck those playlists in and spit back out even more content on demand.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, and even to build on your idea, say like I think it'd be pretty cool if it's like, hey, don't give me the 10 clips, just give me like your top 3 or top 5 from each video, because we want to do it like that. I'm actually writing this down. Thanks for the idea.
I'd like to see what kind of questions people are asking right now on AppSumo. Let's go and have a look and see if we can answer any of them. Can users upload custom fonts?
Yeah, not on their own. Is the short answer. The long answer is yes, you can. You just need to contact support, and we'll be happy to add that font for you if it's not if it's not like a font that's unique to you and you're happy for us to just make this font available for everyone, then absolutely.
Yeah, if it's on Google Fonts or something, you can probably import it into the system. I'm
Yeah.
guessing. I'm not technical.
No, it's pretty
do you have an automatic zoom cuts feature like Firecut?
Mm.
Yeah, I need to do my research with regards to Firecut, but I think I understand what Tom is talking about. The short answer is this is part of something super exciting that we're working on. Right, if you remember, like we have the product and we have the service, so like a team of like physical, like human video editors and so on. And we always have this internal game of like, can the product do what the humans can do, so that the humans can go on and do something even more crazy. And one of the things are these zoom cuts, but also being able to. I'll raise Tom one more, which is to actually have intelligent B-roll that gets queued in based on the transcript of what's being said. Not only that, but being able to understand the dynamic of what's going on in a particular video, the same way a human video editor might. And if there's a host, we'll put the host in the bottom half. If there's a guest for the host, we'll put them at the top. So not only will we have automatic zooms coming soon, but we're trying to take a more holistic view to editing, such that by the time you look at your clips, they're fully edited. They've and it goes above and beyond just adding zooms for sure.
Yeah, so like thinking a couple steps ahead of the process as well. There's more to videos than just zoom cuts. And
yeah, exactly.
I
But
like your
short
approach.
answer is definitely yeah.
Yeah, I think another thing that you just brought up indirectly would be because, like my team, we leverage the YouTube RSS feed for multiple different things that we're doing. That could be another really core feature. Like, prime example, we're recording this live right now, and it's getting syndicated to YouTube. The RSS feed would pick it up, and then Chopcast could pick up that new video by default and just process it.
Yep, absolutely. I think like the RSS feed piece is it definitely makes it's definitely aligned with like how we were thinking about like people using Zapier and stuff like that. I think Zapier have their own like RSS. I think they have a thing called RSS by Zapier, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but yeah, zoom cuts, automatic zooms, I mean, are definitely coming as part of a larger feature that we're releasing to just help you make the overall video like a lot more polished.
Very cool.
But I love it. It's very similar to the AppSumo originals. It's simple, it's affordable, and it works for what it works for. And you already you mentioned you're bringing out some advanced features as well, and the exporting features. They're only going to make it even a better platform. I'm using it, so you've got at least one more customer.
Yeah, you got two of us for sure. I mean, I got tier 3, so
yeah,
Thank you guys.
we were talking about that yesterday. 1,200 upload minutes per month. Has anybody exceeded that?
Yeah, I mean, you'll be surprised, but it does depend. Like, there's a lot of people who are very happy with this limit, and there are others who would like message us and they're like, hey, like we need to work out something here. We need even more minutes and so on.
Wow.
But it really depends. It really depends on the use case, and the way we kind of like to calculate it is, it's not just like what you have in terms of like your repository of content that's still evergreen, because there's stuff you've recorded that you don't necessarily want to like bring back to light, kind of thing. It's not just that, but it's that plus whatever cadence you are trying to of content you are going to be releasing, kind of like future-respectively. And I was at a conference a couple of weeks ago. It's called SaaS Talk. It's a really, really cool tech conference. And one of the speakers there was talking about how right now with like, blogs being taken over by like all these like AI writers, I think he cited like 200 and something AI writers. He was making the point that video is almost like the final frontier. Yes, there's deep fake and stuff like that, but as far as like building an authentic brand, he predicted, and I tend to agree, that a lot of folks will gravitate towards video, because if I write a blog and you guys read it, like who's to say AI did it or if it was me? Whereas video, sure, AI can get involved, but really like it's probably going to be that person's authentic brand and so on. So we definitely anticipate that there's going to be a lot more video content being created. which is just a long-winded way to say, yes, the 1,200 minutes could be exceeded, but I think for the day-to-day use case, it should be more than enough, hopefully.
Yeah, that's plenty.
Yeah, I mean, it's 20 hours, so that's a lot, a lot of content.
Yeah.
Almost like doing one of these big events every single day, which is just not realistic. But
True that. Yeah.
But it's funny. I've been uploading YouTube content since 2019. I can go back and repurpose that content now with Chopcast. So I'll be doing that as well. Might take me a year, or I might just have to hire somebody to do the Chopcast for me.
See, now that's on a whole nother level. I love that.
Yeah. So while we've got a little bit of time left in your slot, would you like to talk a little bit about the Chopcast done for you service that you have?
Yeah, for sure. So basically, we help you record podcasts from scratch and come up with a podcast strategy if you don't already have one. By the way, everything I'm telling you are things that you could use for your own brand, or if you're an agency, you could take everything I'm saying at a 20 to 50% margin, and let's talk. Let's make you some money. But basically, record, repurpose. So when we repurpose content, we create content that is a lot more engaging, and I can share with you I can share with you one example if that's helpful.
Yeah, let's do that. And hello to Sandra in the background.
All right, so just to show you an example of like what's possible on the service front, like we would be doing things that are a lot more dynamic. The content almost feels like a video game, because anything that's being narrated is being visually represented and so on. So imagine being able to create unlimited amounts of video like that. We offer that from just $998 a month. So basically $1,000 a month. You can get unlimited clips that are similar in nature to the style. And basically on the service as well, the next step is you'll end up with a lot of content, but you don't actually have time to actually post it. So we can help you with the scheduling as well. And then last but not least is we can help you with revenue attribution. So we can help you monitor the likes and comments that you're getting on every single piece of content that you're sharing. And we can give you the email addresses of those people so that you can reach out and delight them with even more free value. So that's limited to LinkedIn only at the moment. But to summarize, we can help you record, repurpose, release, and drive revenue. So it's really for people who are more often than going to end up on Upwork trying to find a VA, trying to hack together a team. This team is already ready, trained up and ready to go, all the way from recording to revenue attribution. So the product is kind of like the entry point into the Chopcast Disneyland, as it were, or what we're trying to make it anyway.
No, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And there's a couple of tools that I know, like Resound, that are going to be bringing out something. And there's a lot of different tools that are bringing out done for you services. So it just makes sense. You already got a phenomenal product, and why not? You're giving additional value to the users. So thanks for joining, and we will be seeing you again at a later time. I think it's November the 30th for another demo with members of the community this time. So looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, I think it's next week. Yeah, awesome. All right, well, Chris and SA, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. And Sandra, hello and good luck.
Thank you.
Also, thank you so much for being on time and keeping the momentum of this amazing event going. I know I'm being biased, but thanks for returning to the live stream, and congratulations on winning your prize and getting some more investment into collab writing.
Thank you. I mean, it's been a really exciting couple of months. I think we last spoke when we just first launched on AppSumo. I think it's been almost 6 months now. I think, yeah, around 5 months. And it's been really good. I'm going to show you guys some of the new things we have with our product. Yeah. But this funding round has also been a really big boost for our team, because, times are a bit tough with the VC market. And we were able to get a pretty decent round. It's kind of come up to a bit over $1 million when it comes along with our matching grant that we have along with the investment. So for our first round of investments, that's pretty good. We're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, oh, I'm stoked for you. I'm so happy that you've gone from AppSumo and you're continuing to have success, and now you're going to show a new advanced version of collaborating, and yeah, maybe you'll be back on AppSumo in the future. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, we're constantly developing the product and segments of the product, so who knows what we come up next that could be a good fit with what AppSumo's got to offer. But we really got a lot of value from the community and their feedback, and just this even split between licenses between the target markets that we had in mind. It was such a good validation when we continued pitching and talking to investors. It was a really good stamp of validation that we kind of anticipated, and we anticipated well who was going to come to our platform and who was going to use it the most.
Yeah, I can imagine you got a lot of feedback. Sorry, excuse me, I lost my... So for those, SA, do you know what collaborating is?
No, I'm not familiar with it. Do you mind breaking it down for us so we can kind of get a clear overview of what it does?
Yeah, I can share the screen and then just give you a really short intro to what's kind of the basics, and then I'm gonna kind of go towards the things that have been new in the past couple of months, if that's good with you guys.
Yeah,
perfect.
Just a second. Can you see everything okay?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. So basically how collaborating started was me having an issue in my content marketing team, just managing all the online research we would do. So I would do a lot of research and then send it to my content writer, and she would also do a lot of research, and then she would send back a bunch of links when she was done writing, so I could go kind of check and see if we were on the right track. We were writing for a very specific audience. It was the telco industry. Those were people who were very kind of far from us, both geographically and kind of in terms of our background. So we had to learn a lot. And it would just take so much time to get all that information across. And a lot of information would kind of get lost between those conversations. And basically, in 6 months, when something would start ranking really well, we would have to start the research again, because it was kind of left either in our chats, in our messages, our email. And if it was in like a spreadsheet, it just wasn't working out, because we had no idea why we stored that specific link and to which post we attributed. It seemed like a lot of manual work for something that should have been very simple and very easy. And that's kind of how this initial draft for collaborating came to be. So this is basically my extension where I have all of my highlights and all the snippets that I've previously created. And how I add a new one is just by highlighting, pressing enter, and it's saved. So a big thing with collaborating is that everything is locatable. So even though I have the snippet stored here, I can always come back and locate it and have it send me directly to the original page where I found the information. So why this was important for me is because I was also getting feedback from other people, other stakeholders in the team. And for them to kind of read through a bunch of pages, it was impossible. But sometimes they would also need the context. So me just sending a bunch of snippets wasn't also enough. And to kind of elaborate more on why, if I found something really interesting, I can also add a comment. This is great, for example. And one thing that's new is also being able to add titles. So this is something that was really heavily requested by our users, something that they really, really wanted to see, because it really adds a bit of a layer of visibility to everything that we have stored. So for example, these are some that I've created previously. I've, for example, added my hashtags so I can search better. I've added comments. And one thing that's really great is that you can even add screenshots. So if I just create a screenshot here, I can also paste it to my comment. Just a second. I can also paste it to my comment, and then I also have the visuals attached to whatever I'm researching. And if you want to kind of take it further and you're just not into research, you're also into writing and you're also into creating content, you can also do something like this. You just use Google Docs or Notion or whatever you use for writing. You open our extension here, and you can just drag and drop things that you've already previously created. So for example, I just do this. I get it here. I go through another one. I do it here. And you can see that I already have my outline. They're already formatted like their subheadings. So I don't really have to do a lot of work to be able to get my kind of draft, my first early version. I can just drag and drop things that we haven't stored. And I can even do that with the images. So even if I have an image that I want saved, I can just drag and drop it and then continue customizing from there. So this is something that's kind of the bare bones of what we wanted to do. Just really make it simple and easy to collect information, and also be able to collaborate around those very specific bits of information that you collected. Now, this is available also in PDFs, whether they be online or something that you upload. But something that we really recently added that we were really excited for was being able to use the same principle on Twitter and LinkedIn. So I'm going to show you on Twitter, but it works just the same on LinkedIn. You just create plus, and here it's saved, and it's also locatable. When you click locate, it's going to take you to this same post that you stored, and you can add your own comments, which are private. So these are comments that are only going to be visible by you and your team. And you can also kind of create topics around what you found interesting, what was your inspiration online. And this also kind of feeds into the AI that we're kind of building in the back, where we're going to have a much bigger database of what people found relevant and important, not just from generally available information on blogs and things like that are generally available to web scrapers, but also curated things from LinkedIn, Twitter. We're going to be adding YouTube really soon. And this has been a really exciting update because we've started using it internally a lot to just kind of share. I found this really interesting on LinkedIn, and creating our own little database of what are some of the good posts and some good learnings that we found on these networks.
Yeah, I didn't realize that when you clicked locate, that it located that web page that you found that content on. So that's a really cool feature. I didn't really realize that. I knew that it was collecting it and I could locate it inside of collaborating it, but I didn't know that once you collected it from a web page, you could then go back and click locate, and then it would find that page again. Genius. And
Very
then
cool.
to pull it into
and
a
it works
doc,
on PDFs and sorry.
and then sorry, I'm just getting a bit excited. When you pull it into a doc, how I use collaborating is for research and for writing agendas, or for pod interview, preparing for guest interviews. So being able to drag all the research that I found on the guest into a doc, that's a great feature. Thanks for bringing that one out.
Yeah. Does it have a export feature? Like, could you export out everything that you have on your right hand dashboard into like a CSV file?
Oh yeah. I can just show you here. Just on our dashboard, you can go here. You can either copy all the snippets and then paste them either to Word, Google Docs, whatever you're using. You can download it as CSV, and you can also click print, and then it's going to save it as a PDF, or you can send it to be printed out. This is from the more kind of traditional side of our users who like to have things kind of in their hands and then do the writing by hand and share it with their team when they're working in person. But yeah, you can definitely export whatever is kind of saved here can be exported further.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a strong tool to your point about whether you're podcasting or you're doing videos, doing interviews. I mean, just having everything at your fingertips like that makes it very, very usable.
Yeah, I mean, it came kind of from my personal need, and I think that's kind of why we were able to pinpoint some of the things that weren't super complex to put together, but were really, really useful just from our standpoint, because I know how much time I would waste on just trying to locate everything that we found or sending a bunch of links to people and hearing their feedback. It just seemed like a big part of the process that just wasn't optimized. And we feel like we're going in a good direction, helping people at least save a bit of time when they're trying to learn something new or share some of the learnings with their team.
Yeah, makes the whole researching process or even collecting data less overwhelming. You're not
and it
going
works
between loads
works
of different
exactly the same on
screens.
PDFs. Oh, sorry, I
Yeah.
hear you a bit. I think my volume is a bit low, so I don't hear you as well.
Yeah, I was just saying it's a really simple tool to use. I just noticed here Copilot. I don't think I've seen that before.
Yeah,
Can you go
that's
through
new.
what that is?
Yeah, definitely. That was the final piece that I wanted to show you. So this is something that's the biggest thing that we've been working on, and this is kind of an autonomous AI research copilot that can basically do the research for you. So I can do, for example, this content. Size. And it's going to do the research for me, and I'm going to get snippets of information from across the internet that are relevant information, that are information that we found, that we kind of curated through our model. And a big thing that we implemented is also this kind of feedback loop. You can see that each snippet has this upvote and downvote, and we can basically then tailor our model to what your needs are. So if I like something, I upvote it. If I don't, I dislike it and it disappears from my search results. If I want, I can send it to find more snippets if I'm not happy with the information that I got. And if I am, I can save the research topic, and it basically transforms into a topic like I've researched it myself, where I can locate the information on a web page. I can leave my own comments. I can paste screenshots. I can share it with my coworkers. I can set different preferences, and it can be even shared with a community. You can get a general access link where someone can just be a viewer or a commenter and then get their feedback on whatever your research was, or if some of the shared knowledge was relevant for them or not.
Yeah, I'll say that's a major upgrade for sure.
I mean, yeah, we've heard a lot of good feedback from different industries that we didn't really even expect to hear it from. For example, VCs see this as a good way for them to do kind of the basic research on startups and their market sizes, because you don't have to, read a bunch of data to find what's relevant. You can just see, okay, kind of these numbers fit in, this makes sense. And yeah, we feel like this is going to be really, really helpful for those early stages of research. And especially once we kind of build up this model where it's going to be able to give you suggestions based on your internal documents. Because as I mentioned, collaborating also works on PDFs. We're looking to explore and expand that section as well. So you're going to be able to get these snippets of information either from your internal PDFs that you, for example, bought a research paper. You're going to be able to get suggestions on LinkedIn posts that you can read on a certain subject that have some relevant information. We're going to be expanding that to include Reddit, YouTube, and other kind of spheres where there's knowledge kind of stored, but it's not very easily searchable via just kind of like a Google search, or it's not very easily shareable if it's in the kind of standard format where you have to read through a bunch of data to find what you're looking for.
That's crazy. What else are you working on? Is there anything that we can get excited about for the future?
Oh, I think that the biggest thing is going to be YouTube and the way we're going to be able to save the information there. I don't have anything to show you right now. Maybe my co-founder even will have that tomorrow as like a mock-up. But you'll basically be able to save a specific timestamp from a video along with a screenshot as a highlight. So that's also going to be locatable. The first step is just going to be the screenshot, but we're also going to add transcription. So basically, you're going to be able to share a very specific segment of a YouTube video with someone that's going to be in text and also a screenshot that they can locate in a second. They don't have to search for it. They don't have to look for it. And it's also a big thing that you're going to be able to have all sorts of different types of content within one topic, equally easily accessible for whoever you're sharing your research with. So whether it's going to be from a video or a PDF or a web page or from a LinkedIn profile, it's all going to be accessible via just one click. And it's also going to help us also teach our model a bit more, because now we're also going to be expanding the line of content that we have available to us. So we're going to be able to give you a next step suggestion that's a segment of the video that you can then go and watch, versus you having to look through 3 or 4 hours of some footage to find something that's relevant for you.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but audio content and this is written content, so that's expanding further. I really like that. Well, you should probably look at Castmagic in terms of what they do with audio to written, just to get you more inspiration, maybe to develop collaborating or do something with them, because they're definitely at the head of their game and they're leveraging a lot there. So if you want, I can put you in touch with them, or you can have a look at the deal. It's castmagic.io, just so you can get an idea. But I love what you've got planned, and I've been a user since you launched on AppSumo, and I will continue to be and follow your progress to the end. Or what? It's never going to end.
I mean, it's been a long journey, sort of. My co-founder and I started working together like over 5 years ago. And even that product was kind of around collaboration, but it was like a project management tool. And when that company was sold, this felt like a really good way for me to use both sides of my knowledge, both kind of working in a startup, but also basically being the first user of this tool and being able to share some of my insights on how we can build at least that early MVP and then continue exploring the market. I think it really helped with at least those first versions of what we built.
Yeah. Whoa, I'm a big fan. SA Grant, what are you what are you thinking about at the moment?
Yeah, I'm seeing all the different case use analysis for it. I mean, to your point, I mean, research is a really good thing, but in today's community, you see a lot of book summaries, and book summaries is essentially parsing out partial information
Yeah.
from multiple different PDFs on the fly. So I think this platform would make creating summaries at scale 10 times easier than doing it manually.
Oh yeah, we're basically looking at allowing people to create their own kind of knowledge bases that are highly specific to their themes. So when we do plan on integrating with some sort of AI model that's going to be able to give you that summarizer, but it's going to be much more specific to what you have in mind. So we're going to take in account your comments, your internal PDFs, external PDFs that might not be widely accessible, the kind of LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever post that you saved that you find relevant to your audience. And then it's going to be much more tailored to what you actually need. So if you're a consulting agency or a marketing agency, the output is going to be much more tailored to you, who your audience is and what your sensibility is, than just typing in I want a post about this or that, and you can see that it's generic, and you can see that it doesn't have that kind of unique value kind of built into it.
So, obviously, I know it's scraping the web to a certain extent. So, prime example with podcasts, if we're going to do an interview, we may have some general information. Do you think it'll be possible to utilize your platform to scrape more internal data about an individual that we're going to interview?
I mean, it depends in what format you have the information. So if it's some type of written content that can be stored within a PDF, then probably, and we're going to be working on expanding that more. But the first thing that we're going to enable users to upload their PDFs and then Word documents and things like that. Video probably at some point. I'm not sure what kind of data you're going to have on that person, but probably. I mean, even if it's like a LinkedIn profile, I think that's something that would be manageable, for example, to do.
So potentially it could definitely do social media, right? I mean, if that person, let's say, has an Instagram profile, a
Yeah.
Facebook profile, and so forth, it can scrape those and pull the key points based upon what we want it to look for.
I mean, yeah, at this point, it's in its very early stages, but as we kind of develop it in the next year, we're going to enable people to, for example, have the choice of what time frame they want the information to be from. So not just information that's generally available, but I want information on the content marketing market size for the past 2 years. And that's also going to kind of tailor the results. And then I think that we can also kind of tailor it to the sources of information. We already kind of had requests from that kind of VC startup side that they can select, okay, I want TechCrunch, I want Zipted, I want Recursive, and then I'm going to get information from these kind of sources. So I believe that once we have that kind of built-in, social media could work as well.
Right. So do you see in the future, as far as like automation being part of this, in the sense that if we have let's say a form, and a form is being populated with different content and different keywords, and then those keywords could then be put into your system to then find more information about that? Is that a pipeline that could be possible down the road?
I mean, you can already input keywords, whatever you're looking for, you can input. This was just a showcase of what didn't you do, but whatever you're looking for, you can already input into our model. So whatever kind of keywords you have selected, whether it's by you manually or by some program, could be potentially input into what we have here and for it to do the research. But yeah, we're constantly looking into how we can kind of optimize the experience for our users. So from our side, automation is probably not going to be we just optimize fully research for you. You're still going to have to take a few steps. But for example, we would be able to deliver you like once a week or once a month a report on the most interesting things that kind of we see popped up across the web in the form of highlights in a newsletter. And then you can continue your research from there, but we'll know what to showcase because we already have a lot of the highlights you restored. We have your comments. We have a lot of the data that you've inputted. And we see it as a good way to re-engage users on one hand, but also provide them with actual value, not just kind of spamming their inbox from time to time, but being able to deliver a bit of value with each of that interactions.
Yeah. Well, I definitely appreciate that. I think it's definitely a powerful, I'm surprised I missed it. Like I usually stalk AppSumo, so it was like, what?
Yeah, maybe I should have made some more noise about it when I saw it. But yeah,
it was during the summer when everyone's on vacation, so I think that might have been it.
Yeah, was it for you came on for Sumo Day? So yeah, it would have probably
Yeah.
been June time. So tell me a little bit more about the competition you won and what that competition was.
Oh, it was actually a startup competition for the startups in CE, so Central and Eastern Europe. And we really had no idea that that was going to happen, because we were just one of 40 startups, and it was our first time traveling to Bucharest because it was in Romania. We are based in Belgrade in Serbia. So for us, it was a whole new market, whole new ecosystem. We went because we were like, okay, now we're going to start fundraising for real. Like, we've been talking to the VC funds, and we've been doing this on and off, but this is going to be now an actual start. We're going to fully commit to this. And then we went there. It was awesome. There was a bunch of VCs investing in this region. Any CE startup that plans on fundraising, I really, really recommend Hack to Web wholeheartedly, because it's been so perfectly organized. Everything was on time. There was so much networking, so many opportunities to meet with investors. And before we even knew that we were selected for the top 6, because you don't really know that you're in the top 6 until like half an hour before the presentation. So you don't really have much time to prepare. You're just kind of running around for 2 days, and then they tell you if you're in the top 6 or not. And we were already like super happy. We made so many connections, booked a couple of meetings with funds for after the conference. And then when they called us to be in the top 6, we weren't even thinking of winning first place. We were like, oh, this is amazing. So they see us as a really good startup. We're just going to go there, present, maybe leave a good impression on a couple of more people. And, we've done our job for these 2 days. Belgrade and Bucharest aren't too far away. So it was like, this trip was totally worth it. This was amazing. And then when they called our name, it was such a shock to us that my co-founder, he didn't believe me when I told him, okay, we're supposed to now go out on stage. I only realized that it was us on the third call. And even then he was like, are you sure? You can even see him in the videos going a couple of steps behind me and being like, are you sure that they're going to let us go onto the stage? And even in those pictures and videos, you can see how fully shocked we are. But it's a really great, it's been a great experience.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible. I'm happy,
and
for
we're
you.
really happy with our investors. So that's it's like a syndicate round. So we have more VCs on our cap table, but they've all been really amazing. And this whole due diligence process is now kind of coming to an end, and we're super excited to just start working with
And
them.
you probably are getting a next level of ideas. So you get the core ideas from the Sumo AppSumo, but then you get another kind of stream of consciousness from the from the venture capitalists. I'm excited for you.
And Sumo users haven't stopped kind of messaging us with ideas. So I think that's something that we've been really happy with, is that they kind of stayed with us. They weren't just users, during the summer, during when everything was hyped around, but we still have a lot of users who are super active and super communicative with us on their suggestions and their feedback and sharing their thoughts. And we're really appreciative of this. I mean, I think that kind of continuous feedback that we try to keep up with users has been really incredibly helpful. Some of the ideas were super simple and super easy to implement, but you kind of just get lost in it when you're constantly looking at your product. You don't even realize that it would be so useful and so simple to do.
Yeah, so it's just like getting somebody else to edit your podcast, just getting a different perspective on it. So you've got all those people giving you a bunch of different ideas. Which ones do I prioritize? Which ones are not a good fit? And then the use cases. I think that's what a lot of people come to. They think it's for researching, and then all of a sudden it's for researching for podcast interviews, or not even researching altogether, just data collection and market research. It's been great to see your progression, and we'll be definitely having you back at other events if you want to be. So I know we mentioned via email something about a giveaway. Did you want to talk a little bit about what you had in mind?
Yeah, so basically until recently, until about a month and a half ago, we had this option for people to sign up for the early version of our AI Copilot, and now that's been closed for some time. But we wanted to give a chance to someone else who would really find it useful to have fully free access for 6 months to do as much research as they want. And one is being given away by me today, and one is going to be given away by my co-founder tomorrow. So you have an incentive to tune in both tomorrow and today.
Awesome. We will pick somebody at random inside the inside podcast launch community who will win that prize. If they want to use it first we have to make sure that they want it, and then we'll pick somebody from that list. Maybe SA Grant's the
And-
first version.
And we don't need anything from them.
Yeah.
So they don't have to leave their credit cards. They don't have to even download the extension. They can use it just on the dashboard. They can log in with Google with a Google email. So no work from their side. They can just do the research.
Awesome. Well, SA, would you like to receive the first one? Because I know you said you hadn't heard of it before.
I mean, I got use cases for it all day, every day. So I mean, it's definitely, I could push the limits of it to kind of figure out.
Well, then here is your gift for joining me as a co-host for this event.
Well, I definitely appreciate it, and I look forward to it. I mean, being a podcaster and interviewing a lot of founders, it only makes sense that we kind of test these platforms out and push the limits to kind of give as much feedback as we possibly can.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, and I mean, Chris was really great with sending back some of his feedback and some of his thoughts. So I'm only looking forward to hearing a bit of your thoughts and how your use case has been. And we even featured him on our website because his review was very comprehensive, really great. So that was also a really cool thing that came out of that's kind of just being a guest on a podcast.
Yeah, I feel really special when people put me on their website. So thank you for doing that, and yeah, make sure to give your feedback to Sandra so you can also be featured. Okay. What we're going to do now is... actually, it's Black Friday at AppSumo. What deals have you been looking at or have piqued your interest?
Oh my God, I still haven't had a chance to look at anything. This is both me and my co-founder are traveling for the first time to the US this weekend. So it's been very, very hectic. So I think that on Saturday when we have everything figured out, or Friday actually, on Friday, we're going to be checking back in to see what's new and what's been popular. But I've seen a lot of discussion in the groups, and I think Viola or something like that's been popping up a lot in conversations, and I've seen a couple of more that I'm not very good with names, but you definitely can find a use case for.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can see by our name that it's very literal. So it's collaboration and writing, and we started from content marketers. We weren't being very creative.
Yeah, here we go. Voila.
Voila. Yeah.
Introducing Voila, AI-powered personal assistants that can help you improve your writing. But it's a Chrome. It's not a Chrome. It's an email extension, and it might also be a Chrome extension. And it has been popular. 201 reviews, 4.5 tacos. That's pretty damn good. Yeah, I did check it out the other day. So this. Oh, with collaborating, would you have something similar to Voila inside of collaborating in the future? Would you get it to like embed with collaborating?
Yeah, we were planning on integrating with tools like that. So we don't plan on kind of developing things that are completely outside of our realm of expertise. So that's why we decided not to build like our own web editor or text editor. We've seen some tools do it, and it takes up a lot of their resources. And we see that we have our own specialty and other tools have their own specialties. And it feels like it would be much better to kind of use both of those sides and integrate with something that's already really good in its space. But just provide an additional layer of value that we can bring with collaborating.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a great mindset of a founder. Don't recreate something, just collaborate.
Yeah. I mean, we're really trying to learn from our own past mistakes with our previous company and also look at who are successful competitors, who are unsuccessful competitors, why some people are switching from other tools to our tool. And we've just seen that that people just don't see the value, no matter how good it is. People are going to use Google Docs, they're going to use Word, and they don't feel like they need to switch. So why would we force them to switch if it's a lot of work for us, no added value for them, when we can do something that's going to help them out far more?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Well, thank you so much, Sandra, for joining me. And I look forward to meeting, is it Ivan tomorrow?
Yeah, Ivan or Ivan, however you say it. I mean, in Serbia, he's Ivan, but everywhere else we go, he's Ivan. So
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining me and for doing that podcast interview. And yeah, it's been great to get to know the tool and yourself over the last few months.
Yep.
And it's been really great to be a part of this kind of whole AppSumo community. I'm really happy with our launch and all the feedback that we got, and to be able to join all these podcasts. So thank you so much for having me.
No, that's fine.
Well, the pleasure was meeting you. It was definitely a great and kind of giving us the lowdown of the software was definitely intuitive. And I'm still kind of like trying to envision, like, how did I miss such a great deal to begin with? So
You don't miss many deals.
I don't.
But Chris gave you a really good gift, so now you can also check it out.
Yeah, you haven't got a lifetime deal like me, but you've got a 6 month free deal.
I could do damage in 6 months.
Awesome. Well, I will, I guess, enjoy your trip to the US, and
Thank you.
we'll see Ivan tomorrow.
Yes.
Bye.
I hope you have a good time today.
Yeah.
Through the rest of the podcast.
We've got half an hour left of today, and then we'll be back on tomorrow. Taking it easy.
Awesome.
And I can see
Bye.
my CW. I've just copied something. And I can see it popping up.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
So you have
That
a
is-
6 months free account.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think that platform. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of different note platforms out there, and there's Google Keep and everything else. But I mean, the intuitive aspect of that platform and holding the content in a reserve until you need it, and just dragging it and dropping it, it's a game changer.
And then, like I said with Castmagic, you could use them both together. Oh, genius.
Yeah. You know me, I'm just trying to figure out, like, can I do an API integration between both of them and make them talk to each other? That'll be like a dream come through for sure.
Yeah. Does Castmagic, Chopcast, does Castmagic have an API key that we could create?
I don't think it has one yet, but I think that all the platforms that we're talking about, I think they're obviously heading down that direction. The second they start integrating with Zapier and Papley, actually, yeah, Castmagic does integrate with Zap.
Yeah.
So by default, technically speaking, it does have an API integration.
Yeah. So now we just need an API for. Well, Chopcast said that they are going to have one soon. So that's. Oh, thank you, APIs, whatever they stand for. Thank you very much. Thank you to AppSumo for delivering all these amazing tools and deals. And I'll just put this up. Don't miss out. 10% off everything on AppSumo right now because it's Black Friday.
Mhm.
And then if you have AppSumo Plus, like myself and SA, you'll have another 10% off on that. So it makes sense to get the Plus to get an additional 10% off. But if you don't have Plus, don't worry about it. Just make sure that you make the most of the lifetime deals that are live on AppSumo right now and get that 10% off while it's still available. And that ends November 28th.
And just to kind of reiterate what we said yesterday, is you want to think about whatever deals you're going to get in the long term, not the short term. The worst thing you want to do is get something with 10,000 to say as a round number, and in 5 years you really need 50,000, and you're going to be sitting there pulling your hair out, thinking about why didn't I just spend the extra $40 or $50 to get the 50,000 now versus later.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. But if you can't afford it, get the basics, and then in the next year or the 2 years on, get upgrade to the second tier and the third tier. Go for what you can afford first. But if you already have an established business and you're paying monthly for software, stop.
100%.
Get the lifetime deal of VBout. VBout has everything included in it, as you've seen earlier today.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that much of a monster of a platform, but I mean, it's definitely a hybrid-based platform that has essentially 4 to 5 things that people are paying anywhere from $29.95 to $49.95 per month right now, all in one platform.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I thought it was. I know it was an automation marketing platform, but not as detailed as that. I know I've been preaching about Sessions being so great, and Sessions is great. VBout has that, in it with the
Correct.
calendar link. So you have to choose what's best for you at the time, and sessions could definitely work for you. VBOut can definitely work for you. You just have to just pick one and just stick with it.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is whichever one you pick, make sure that it integrates with whatever else you're using. That's like the first thing. If it doesn't integrate, and unless you're going to migrate everything to it, you have to make sure there's some kind of connection, integration, API, Zap, Papley. It has to communicate with something.
Yeah. So while we wait for the next guest, let's just have a look on AppSumo and see what's happening.
I don't know if we should do this. Is kind of like we're having too much fun, because I mean, if you pull up AppSumo and just to look at deals, we'll go down this wormhole and we may not never be able to come out. But let's go for it.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. 6 days left. Come on. 6 days, 23 hours left. Okay. So Voila had been mentioned, but we didn't really go into detail with it.
Yeah.
Have you come across this before?
I remember seeing it once before, but it's one of those brands, like I wasn't sure what the brand was, so I just kind of just skimmed past it, unfortunately.
Yeah, so let's I've just opened the website, so it's on a different page, but it's AI will take our jobs ... to the next level. That's for sure. Meet Voila, powerful ChatGPT assistant designed to streamline your work. So use ChatGPT on any website, convert web pages into any content, research with web access. So very similar to collaborating.
Yeah, there was another one that I just saw that's similar to that as well. It was called, let me pull it up. It was Wasp Note. I don't think it's
Note.
I don't think it's necessarily Black Friday, but it is an active deal, and it's an alternate to Evernote and Microsoft OneNote. So it's in the same note-driven category.
There we go. So I just want to put everybody's attention to the search bar. If you don't know the name of the deal on AppSumo, but you know an alternative or a keyword, you can type in Zoom or Evernote, and it will come up with the right search for you. So NoteDex is similar to Evernote, so is Wasp's Note.
Yeah. I think that was a great feature on the behalf of AppSumo, adding that in there, because I mean, when you click on the alternates inside of the landing page, it'll actually pull up all the variants of all the products that fall under that category on that one landing page.
Yeah, just like that. And then you can also see if you go to software, they do have those categories and then subcategories. So if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, you can go operations. I need HR tools, and it will pull up all the HR tools. So there's no need to get lost with the AppSumo marketplace to search for it in terms of keywords or so you said Wasp Note. I want to go back to Wasp Note.
Yeah, it believe it or not, I had it up on my actual browser before we even got on the call, because I was looking for note-taking strategies to kind of figure out how to systematize note-taking, and sure as hell
We had collaborating on. So so we got Wasp Note, which is revolutionizing note taking with Wasp Note AI summaries. Yeah, so they need to talk to collaborating or not, because they're competitors.
well,
okay, that's great.
Yeah. Well, that's the beautiful thing about AppSumo, is always variables, right? I would say click on the yellow button to see all the deals at once.
Here we go. So we've mentioned sessions. You have to have deposit photos if you want to use any kind of images, and it's the most successful deal on AppSumo.
Yeah. So FuseBase, that's a rebrand. I think that used to be, if you click on it, it should say it's a note-taking software as well.
It used to be called Nimbus
Notes, which had an app as well, and it had OCR capabilities built into it.
OCR, what's OCR?
So essentially, OCR is you can scan a like if you get a letter in the mail that's already typed and printed out. You can scan it, and it is going to convert that letter into digital. So then you can kind of highlight. And a lot of the phones have it built in now. But at one point in time, it was very difficult to go through multiple page documents and convert them into live documents. And that's one of the things that software had built into it.
Oh, it's like the QR code, but for taking
Yeah.
photos and capturing.
Yeah, it converts copy, right? So instead of a copy being an image, it will actually read the text and make the text live text. So then you can edit the text, copy the text, paste the text, and so forth.
Oof. So that I'm guessing you have a lifetime deal of Nimbus Note.
Yeah, I do have that one.
Big View. We've already
Yeah.
mentioned this.
Yeah.
If you want to record videos for your brand, you can use AI scripting for this, and then record directly on a mobile or desktop teleprompter. You can get this for $69 tier 1 license.
I think that's a good one for a lot of people that we talked to yesterday and today. I think having access to creating video, this platform goes well with everything that we've been talking about as far as scaling video or creating YouTube videos with Chopcast and all that sort of things. I think this platform is a requirement if you're going to create any kind of content, especially if you're on the move and you just want to kind of do a quick video, but you want it to be scripted. This will definitely help you get there.
Yeah, you record with Big View, and then once it's up on YouTube or LinkedIn, then you send it to Chopcast if you want. I believe you might be able to repurpose inside of. I know you can edit your video inside of Big View as well. Maybe they have a repurpose feature coming out as well. But let's see what they have on 5 users, 10 devices, 20 devices, 40 devices. Nice.
Yeah. And the devices is probably the key thing, because you may think of it from, hey, I have one phone. Why do I need more than one? But if you have a team of people that's recording content for you, then it makes sense to have each one of those people to have it on their device.
Yeah. So let's see what else we have. Which one sticks out to you?
Let me pull it up on my end so I can see it a little bit bigger. So I'll watch it while you're watching it. 1 second.
There's design. Create graphic designs with beginner-friendly design studio.
Is that a Photoshop killer?
That is a Canva alternative.
Yeah, so it goes into Photoshop a little bit. I think another one that we both talked about was SEOcrawl. I think that one is, if anyone has a website and they're looking to optimize, definitely start with SEOcrawl, considering that it's a lifetime deal.
Yeah, lifetime deal, $29. And it's a full SEO suite that monitors keywords, optimizes URL, automates SEO reporting. And then there's heat maps as well. So that's more important, especially if you're going to be positioning content.
So another one that I have a lifetime deal for, and they just made major upgrades, was Wave.video. Because Wave.video used to be like a video creating software, but now essentially it's a multi-streaming software.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get this because, well, I love Restream. I know how it works. I don't know why I have loyalty towards it, because it's a monthly subscription. So I think I might have to switch to Wave for the next event, because they have the live streaming functionality.
Yeah, I mean, you got to test it. I mean, I've went through maybe about 6 live streaming lifetime deals until I found the one that I'm using right now. And it's still not 100% perfect, but I love it because it allows me to stream to 40 to 60 different platforms all at the same time.
Yeah. What have you used Wave Video before?
I use Wave Video for the video creating side of it. And like I said, recently when I logged in, like in the past few months, I was like, wait, like they didn't have the streaming aspect before. Like you could create video and it had video content that you can kind of drag and drop and create custom videos. And I was like, when did they get live streams? Yeah. So I have not used it for the live stream purpose as of yet. So
no, that's cool. I think I'm definitely, like you said, test it out. And then like all deals on AppSumo, you have a 60-day money-back guarantee. So try it out for 2 months to make sure it's right for you. And if it's not, just get a refund. But yeah.
Yep.
have a go. Oh, they only have a single and double license.
Yeah, I don't even know which one I have. I think back in the day it was probably maybe 3 variables, and it wasn't like the way they're set up right now. It was 3 versus 2.
Oh, have you seen WebWave?
No, I have not. What is it?
WebWave build professional custom websites tailored to any client with the help of AI.
Mm.
So I use WordPress, and then I already
Yeah.
host on my friend's hosting platform that he's already built. So I'm good. But
It's plug and play. It's like it's a killer for Wix.
yeah, killer for Wix.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wix.
Yeah. So if it's Wix, then it's also probably Squarespace as well, right?
Yeah,
Let's look at the alternatives to
Squarespace, Webflow. Oh, Webflow is really good as well.
Yep.
Wix.
Yeah, you notice WordPress wasn't listed, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry. What else have we got?
So I don't know how to pronounce that one, but that one was decent as well. The OCOYA.
OCO.
Scroll down right there.
Oh,
Right.
Akoya.
Yeah.
Akoya, yeah. I think it's Akoya. That's how I pronounce it. I got a second tier for that today with my plus savings. And yeah, I'm going to be using that a lot more now.
Yeah.
And they've completely changed, or they've got a new interface. So I'm excited because I don't like manually writing, but sometimes you just have to. So I really want to, in 2024 and 2025, really start to automate more of my processes. And
see, now you're talking dirty to me. Like that's what I'm talking about. It makes it so much easier when you figure out automations and processes to where you can kind of do so many things at the same time, and people will look at you like, "How the hell are you doing it?" And you just look at them and say, "Automations and processes."
yeah, I feel so daft for still keeping things simple and not automating, but it's a process, and
100%.
you got to start first, figure out if you want to continue to do it, and I think the automation is the more technical. So you have to kind of warm up to that, and I'm warmed up enough to feel like I could take automation on and get groovy with it.
Yeah, but I mean, and today's market is completely different than, say, 9 months ago. Now you could just go into Chat GPT and say, "Hey, I need automation for this. Where should I start?" And it'll make you a complete blueprint of what you should do and how you should do it.
Oh, right. I didn't even know you could do that. I have the basic level of understanding of ChatGPT is you give it a prompt and it tells you something. I didn't realize you could give it a prompt to say, write me. I wonder if you can do this, and correct me if I'm wrong. Can you ask it to write you the HTML code for a basic website with images and embedded videos in?
100%. So prime example, like my wife, she is kind of like an Excel guru. And when in the early days, I would ask her questions left and right about Excel until I learned what she knew to a certain extent. And then once AI came out, it was like a whole nother level of code that I've created to where she looks at me like I'm speaking a foreign language now. So I mean, AI definitely knows how to write the code. And then you can test it and say, well, it's 75% of the way there. I want it to do this. I need you to dial in here and then tell it to rewrite the code, and it'll rewrite the code for you. It's at the point to I have plugins inside of my spreadsheets that brings AI into Google Spreads and automatically creates code for me on the fly.
Jeez.
Yeah. And those lifetime deals as well too. So it was a lifetime deal for AppSumo. It was called Road was it Dog? I think it's something Dog. It may still be there. I don't know. It was a Road Dog. I'll look it up real quick. It was something Dog. Formula Dog. Yeah.
It is there.
Formula Dog it's a genius because it runs independently of the platform, and it also runs as a plugin inside of multiple platforms. It runs in spreadsheets, it runs in Google Spreads, it runs in Excel, it runs in Airtable, it runs in all these different platforms, and it literally, you just type in some information, say, hey, I want you to do this in this column, I want you to add up this column, and I want you to give me the variable for this column.
Wow. No, that's impressive. And yeah, maybe that was the inspiration behind ChatGPT. Maybe not.
Yeah,
But
it's
I know that your Boss and Cage. I don't know actually the Boss and Cage website.
Mhm.
Have you used something like Retable? Because Retable turns your spreadsheets into um, a mobile app, I think,
Correct. It's
or
the one that we use is called Spread Simple, and Spread Simple is I cannot tell you how great having access to that platform is. Like having access to Spread Simple changed my viewpoints of web development and web strategies completely. Because essentially what it does is you can build out any variable of data inside of a spreadsheet, and you could have your forms input data. You could do all these different things in the spreadsheet, and then it takes that information and makes it visual on a website. And it also has all the bells and whistles, shopping carts, SEO compliance, all built into it. It is probably like one of my top favorite lifetime deals I've ever got. I'm pissed off that I didn't buy like the largest package. I bought I think like 25 or 50 licenses, but I think they had like 100 website licenses that I back then I didn't know that it would be as good as it is right now, and I kind of bought the middle package going into it.
I see. So that there you go, guys, and girls, and everybody else.
Yeah. It's
Get the tier you think you may need in 10 years' time if you can afford it. If not, you're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, I got the 25 package, so it allows me to create. I could do a lot of damage with 25, but man, if I had the 50, it's a whole nother ball game. But yeah, if you're looking for platforms like that, I would definitely think Spread Simple has competitors in the space, but I can't preach about how great that platform is.
So when do you? Because I know you've shown me your spreadsheets before, and
Mhm.
there's so much data in there. You mentioned you were working on a directory. I know I've seen that
Oh, yeah.
our episode is not going to be out until next year sometime.
Mhm.
Is all of that built in? So
Oh, yeah.
somewhere on your spreadsheet, you'll say this is going to be published on this week, and then it creates the CSS for it.
I'll pull up a couple of the websites that I've built in Spread Simple, including our new our internet radio platform. Part of it is built into that as well. So let me go ahead and share my screen.
The bear one, right? Or is it bear in?
Yeah. Bear is one of them. And like the more and more I dive into the platform, the more and more I see how robust it is because again, it's running off of JavaScript. So essentially, it's not even like an iframe. It's the native code language is running inside the platform instead of it running inside of a window. So all the features that are usually encompassing inside of an iframe runs in the entire platform. So if I click a shopper cart button, it applies to the entire site, not just to the window. It's such a beautiful platform. But I'll share my screen and show you what I'm talking about real quick.
Yeah, and give everybody else some context because
Yeah.
what I've seen it is really special, and I kind of wish that I knew about AppSumo when Spread Simple was on.
Yeah. So everything you're looking at on this particular thing is based 100% on Spread Simple. It's just there's no WordPress. It's 100% Spread Simple. So each one of these images are essentially just URLs that go to the actual image source. All of these text is based upon the column. So this may be a title. This may be a subtitle column. It's an author column. So anytime you see something like this, that's the name of the actual column. And then the other beautiful part about it, it makes a search engine built into the platform. So this column that's on like all the authors' names is actually searchable as well. So if I'm looking for an author's name, all I have to do is click on that author, and then automatically the database will update and show me only that particular person. And as you can see, it loads the image in. So that's first tier. The second tier that makes it even more beautiful is that when you click on it, this page is still in the database. So all these data points are all calling from a database. All these highlights are all calling from columns. And if I want to convert my conversion on this particular platform, then redirects them to a Amazon page. So it's again, if you're looking at it from a data standpoint, there's no cap. You can make the data points as many as you need, as long as you need, and then essentially you just associate that column to a visual representation. And so that's what this looks like as far as our book directory. On the audio side, Well, this is our internet radio, but if I scroll down, like all of this is essentially like WordPress. But this part is the actual spread simple included. So like when we're talking about playlists, this is all the data that's coming from our spreadsheets. And then the other part of it is beautiful. It automatically connects to PayPal and connects to Stripe. So if I'm clicking on this purchase button right now, it automatically loads in the shopping cart. And keep in mind, it's only this window, but that's going back to what I said before. When it loads the shopping cart, it loads it in the entire environment, so it looks like it's part of the website. When really and truly, it's just a plugin that's sitting inside of an actual small window. And then if I click checkout, it actually loads the checkout processing with inside the window itself. And again, I can scroll up and down. You could still be playing the radio and never leave the database that's included with all the playlists inside of it. So once you understand that, it's such a sexy thing. It's a game changer.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I had to do something sneaky and click inspect and see what is he using. What is he using? Is he using? He's not using WordPress. What tool is he using? And it was Spread Simple. And I thought, oh,
yeah,
is it on AppSumo? No, it's not. Damn it!
It was. Like I said, when you told me about the deal that I missed, I was like, how did I miss that one? Like, but yeah, Spread Simple is definitely again for like podcasters. There's always monetization is always a general question, and you have to kind of think outside the box on how to monetize multiple different things. And having access to a database and monetizing that database with a visual representation on the front end, you can make directories all day, all night on particular core topics that your podcast covers. So I want to like, do you have any general questions about that? Because I think that's something that people really need to kind of hone in onto in the podcasting space.
I think for me, some of the questions I asked is, what 3 actionable tips do you want to share? So I think a directory that I could create would be all the actionable tips. For you, I know you have a foodie club, and you ask somebody what their favorite meal is, or nobody asked what their favorite color is, but you could have a color directory. But I think the actionable expert tips is definitely the one direction that I could go in.
You could take it even further than that. I mean, what we've done with Boston Cage is we created a Boston Cage online directory for our guests. So every time we interview someone, they'll get added to the directory. So if I'm having a conversation networking and you say you're looking for a real estate agent or someone that has sold a hotel before, you can go to our directory, search for it, and I can just send you the link right then and there without having to think twice about it.
Yeah, it's your directory. It's like Podmatch. It's your own matching service as well, and you've got
100%.
that warm relationship already to say you can message on our website and do it the warm way. I think that's really cool. I always thought about having like an expert marketplace, but that's very similar to you could do that with Spread Simple as well.
100%. I mean, technically speaking, you could make a variable of, and that's what we're working on right now, is making like a watered down version of AppSumo, leveraging AppSumo deals inside of a sub environment that's just targeted for Boston Cage listeners.
Yeah. Oof. I love Spread Simple, and I love that you have the. I love your mindset, and I'm going to stay as close as I can to you as possible, just to absorb as much of your wisdom as I can.
I think it's a mutual thing, man. I think like being a podcaster, and I think people they need to understand like podcasters are not like any other expertise. Like every other expertise, there's competition, and with podcasters, we don't compete with each other. There's zero competition. We all have separate demographics, and even if we're both talking about business, which you do and I talk about, you can kind of see how we can collab, and there's no real overlap or distinction between our clientele.
Yeah, we're complete opposites because you've had an extensive career already, and then you're coming into podcasting and dominating it. I'm not really coming from. I'm coming from a completely different career and transitioning, and I'm learning still. So I think you get the basic and the intermediate, but interested in getting to advanced, and then you've got advanced getting to the next level. So you get 2 of both. side. So.
Yeah, and I think you're probably more advanced than you're giving yourself credit for. Because I mean, there's novice podcasters, and then there's podcasters that are doing things at scale. And I think you're definitely at the next level to where you're helping people create their own podcasts.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, and this event is a part of the evolution and how far we've come over the last 2 years. So I wouldn't call myself a novice anymore.
No,
and I
far
got to
from
give
it.
myself a little bit more credit. So thanks for driving that home for me. So that's it for day 2 of the AppSumo Black Friday live event. We'll see you on the podcast. We'll see you tomorrow for day 3 with some more founders and more live demos and maybe a couple of surprises. I'm going to give you a sneak peek. Drumlet Video, which is alternative to a Vimeo. Vista Social, which is alternative to Akoya or Hootsuite.
So, yeah.
And then we have Collab Writing coming on to talk a little bit more about the technicalities of the startup world. And we may have a couple of other surprise guests in there. So we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.